a major payday. The assumption was he was selling his title. He is here to show that he is here to keep his title.
He's earned it tonight. He's taken everything Mayweather had and gave him something.
They called him Pretty Boy Floyd, and he rapidly became the most celebrated member of the 1996 American Olympic team after entering the pro ranks. First one to win a championship, 27-0 coming into today. Regarded himself as one of the very top pound-for-pound fighters in the world. Did he bite off more than he could chew? Did he underestimate the difficulty of moving up in weight against a tough veteran champion who knew how to come in and make Floyd Mayweather fight his fight? Who will the judges choose in this rousing battle in Las Vegas?
The way it's supposed to be. I thought Castillo retained his title.
It looked to me like he did enough in the 10th, 11th, and 12th rounds. If the fight was hanging in the balance, Castillo remained the aggressor down the stretch.
Harold Letterman, the greatest judge of all. We are just pawns.
Two key junctures late in the fight. Moments provided by referee Vic Drakulic. In round 8, it appeared a tremendous advantage for Floyd Mayweather and Jose Luis Castillo, after having been warned for hitting on the brake several times, hit Mayweather with that little left on the brake and lost a point. But then in round 10, after Floyd Mayweather had been warned for pushing off with his elbow, Drakulic caught him with the elbow right under Castillo's neck and took a point away from Floyd. That may have stopped the Mayweather rally and given the advantage back to Castillo.
Castillo gave him all the fight he wanted tonight.
Harold, what's your final score?
Chip, I agree with you 100%. In the championship rounds, 10, 11, and 12, Jose Luis Castillo just took control of the fight. 115, 111, 7-4, 1 even, Jose Luis Castillo.
Once again, the judges are Anna Kongtongkam from Thailand, John Keane from England, Jerry Roth of Las Vegas, who is regarded as a judge who favors the aggressor. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official results.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, we go to the Budweiser scorecards. John Kane and Jerry Roth both have it 115 to 111. Anik Hongtongkam scores it 116 to 111 for the winner by unanimous decision and new lightweight champion of the world, the undefeated Pretty Boy, Floyd Mayweather.
Not the fight we saw. Definitely not the fight that this announce team was watching at ringside. Not the first time it's happened. Final CompuBox numbers, and these numbers will dispute the outcome of the fight. Castillo, by CompuBox numbers, landing 46 more punches, throwing 58 more punches, landing at a higher connect percentage rate. Power punches, more big advantages coming for Castillo. Landing 107 more power punches. Throwing 226, or check it, yes, 226 more power punches and landing at a higher connect percentage rate. The only category in which Mayweather would have had a statistical CompuBox advantage would have been in the jab category, but that was not the nature of the fight that was fought here. And right now, Larry Merchant stands by with Las Vegas resident and the winner here, Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Thank you, Jim. Congratulations, Floyd. You went out in the last 2 rounds with instructions from your trainer, your uncle Roger, which he said you had to stand and fight him. Were you under the impression that the fight was very close at that time and that you had to pull it out?
Well, first of all, before I even, answer that question, I want to say, Grant Boxing, he got the best gloves in the business, the best outfits in the business.
We don't do commercials.
Well, I'm gonna give him some props. Of course, I know you don't, but this is my time to shine, and so let me have my piece and speak my piece. I want to thank God for this victory. I mean, it was tough, The last, my last training day, I hurt my rotator cuff in my left shoulder, so I wasn't able to use my jab like I wanted to. My left wasn't as strong as I wanted it to be, but I ain't want to have no excuses like like other champions. When they get hurt, they don't even show up to the fight. I get hurt, I keep fighting. I want to bring the fans, big. All
right, now, but answer the question. Were you under the impression, given the instructions from your corner, that you really had to stand and fight him in the last 2 rounds, that it was very, very close?
Actually, my uncle said I was wearing him down, so he told me to, he told me that in all my big fights, if you wear a guy down like around the 10th and 11th, 12th, stand there, and break him down. So I wasn't even worried at all. I was out boxing him easy.
Was he much tougher than you anticipated? You, after all, said this was an easy fight en route to bigger fights.
Well, you gotta realize, I beat this guy with a messed up arm. My arm is messed up. But I don't have no excuse. I don't ever back down to turn out fights.
So it was a harder fight than you anticipated with what you came into the ring with?
With one arm, yes. One arm, yes. If you want a rematch, we can do it again.
So are you suggesting that you think, given the fact that a lot of people here believe that he won the fight, that you think you should give him a rematch?
This is boxing. You have ups, you have downs. He was a good fighter. It was a good fight for both of us. It was a good learning experience for me, and I'm looking forward to moving on. All
right, you moved up in weight and you fought a very strong lightweight. Yes. Did you find out that it was a little different than you had anticipated?
No, not at all. I fought the best lightweight because that's what I want. I want an exciting fight, so I moved up to fight the best lightweight they got out there. And like I said before, I took my time and went out there and did what I had to do.
Thank you very much, Floyd. Congratulations again. And now let me talk to Jose Luis Castillo. You seemed shocked by the decision. Did you think you had won the fight easily?
¿Te sorprendió la decisión? ¿Pensaste tú que ganaste la pelea fácil?
Sí, no fácil, un poco complicado, ¿no? Pero sí del cuarto round en adelante hice el trabajo, ¿no? Como para obtener la victoria, ¿no? Más que desgraciadamente los jueces vieron otra cosa.
It wasn't easy because it was a very complicated fight, but I thought I won the fight. Unfortunately, the judges didn't agree with me.
Do you think that the judges sided with him because he's the favorite, because he comes from Las Vegas, because this is where he works out of?
¿Tú crees que los jueces la vieron para él porque él es el favorito, él trabaja aquí en Las Vegas y todo lo tiene aquí?
Yo pienso que sí, ¿no? Los jueces se supone que deben ser imparciales, pero en esta ocasión no lo fueron. Y bueno, ya estamos en pláticas, ahorita hablamos con el señor Bo Arum para hacer una revancha directa, ¿no? Ojalá y sí se concrete.
Yes, I think they favor him because of that. The judges should be impartial, but this time they didn't call the right decision. But I already have a guarantee that I'm going to have a rematch.
Where did you get that guarantee from?
Esa garantía que te dieron no era revancha. ¿Quién te la dio?
Bueno, me la dio el señor Arum, no dijo que probablemente se hiciera la revancha, pero no puso fecha, hay que sentarnos a platicar.
I got it from Bob Arum himself. He didn't give me a definite, but he said most likely we'll have a rematch in the near future.
Did you feel that your strength overcame his quickness in this fight, and that by being the aggressor, you were dictating the fight?
¿Sentiste tú que tu fortaleza, lo fuerte que tú eres, contrarrestaba la rapidez de él y eso hacía tu pelea a tu favor?
Sí, porque él sentía mis golpes y corría un poquito más fuerte, ¿no? Cuando sentía el golpeo mío. Y bueno, eso también, por eso se quiso intercambiar golpes, vio que era mucho más fuerte en los últimos rounds y mejor optó por correr, ¿no?
He felt my punches, and this is why he's a lot of times he stood there and tried to trade with me, but I was punching too hard.
Did he ever hurt you at all? Do you feel you hurt him?
¿En alguna vez te ocasionó algún esto, te hirió, te sentiste algo y sientes tú que lo heriste a él?
Yo sí lo herí varias veces, ¿no? Él sí me pegó un gancho que me sofocó poquito, ¿no? Que fue lo único que sentí, fue como en el 10º round. Pero de ahí en fuera no sentí nada.
Yeah, at one time with the left hook he hit me and I felt a little bit, but I hurt him a lot more.
Thank you for a wonderful fight. Congratulations.
Gracias por una buena pelea.
Gracias y ojalá y me dé pronto la oportunidad de volver a pelear con ustedes. Estoy agradecido y arriba Empalme.
So thank you, and I wish and I hope HBO will give me the opportunity to fight a rematch.
Thank you, and back to you, Jim.
All right, back at ringside with George Foreman. And George, Floyd Mayweather is a remarkably gifted fighter. Surely there are some out there who are saying right now, more gifted than ever. He says it was a learning experience, but do you learn just as much when they call it a win as when they call it a loss?
What I do know that for the first time, Floyd Mayweather can sell pay-per-view. If this match is made a rematch, this would have to go pay-per-view. It was an excellent fight. It's hard to give one guy the winner, but this should be a rematch.
What you're
and
saying
this should
is
be pay-per-view.
This is the kind of controversy that sells big
This
the
is
second
what
time
we
around.
need. This is what Mayweather really needed in his career. I think the Top Rank better sign this guy up for a rematch and let us go on the tour of a pay-per-view. This will sell. I guarantee it.
All right. George Foreman says not only give us the rematch, give it to us pay-per-view because the controversy sells. Larry, your thoughts?
Well, I don't think there's much controversy. I think most people think that Castillo